Welcome to 1 Minute Theatre Reviews. I'm Paul Seven Lewis, this is the London Library, and I'm here to review The Time Machine. The Time Machine by Creation Theatre at London Library. The audience for The Time Machine is restricted to groups of 20. We meet a time traveller in a lobby area. She's charming towards us, but she's breathless and clearly on edge. She takes us on a journey to various points in the future, represented by the different rooms in the library. Although it purports to be the true story of secretive time travel that's been going on for about 40 years, it's really a warning that what we do now affects the future. And that doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of fun to be had in Jonathan Holloway's script. This mainly comes from the notion that once people go back in time, they can mess around with the future. So familiar names are thrown about in totally unfamiliar contexts. Oliver Hardy marries Virginia Woolf and invents time travel. Oh, and the first man on the moon is Japanese. People are liable to shift shape, or their socks might change colour, or the dreaded Morlocks might appear from under the ground. But actually, none of this happens. I mean, I wasn't expecting a Disney ride or Doctor Who effects, but the odd scary or simply dramatic happening might have been in order. Nevertheless, The Time Machine is entertaining as well as being a wake-up call. And the setting is amazing. Keep watching for more about The Time Machine at London Library. The Time Machine from Creation Theatre offers an opportunity to tour the magnificent London Library. This 180-year-old private lending library is housed in a Grade 2 listed building in Mayfair. It has had among its members Alfred Lord Tennyson, Charles Dickens, Charles Darwin, Virginia Woolf, George Bernard Shaw, Agatha Christie, and of course, H.G. Wells. And it's his novel, The Time Machine, that inspired this entertainment. I found myself in a group of 20 being taken on a journey into the future by a time traveller. Ours was played by Leda Douglas. Now, we don't go very far into the future, but far enough to be in the dystopian world that has clearly terrified her. Our polluting the planet and our scientific tinkering is going to get us in trouble, or should I say, even more trouble. Interestingly, the show was written last October, but it predicts the current virus epidemic. Did they go back in time and change the script, I wonder? Anyway, along the way we meet an amusing computer played by Graeme Rose, who's clearly aware Alexa and Siri are heading if the back chat's anything to go by. And a scared scientist played by Sarah Edwardson. Oh, and finally a chat show host played larger than life by Funlola Olufunwa. The play seems to stick the blame for all this on rich capitalists and corporate greed rather than humanity in general, but this doesn't make the message any less bleak. Amusing as the story of time travel was, and frightening as the information about the way the future is likely to turn out, the production is a bit of a tease. We're told by our guide to be careful, to stick to the walls because of the dangers we may encounter. But in fact, we didn't encounter anything dramatic to worry about. For example, when we travel in time, we hold up our arms as our guide holds a briefcase and says, "Zoom." Well, I guess time travel could be as prosaic as that, and maybe director Natasha Rickman wanted to avoid the cliches of strobe lighting and loud electronic noise, but still it was a little flat. Or when we arrived in one book-lined room with leather armchairs, we were told about the first time that a time trip happened in the basement of Studio 54 New York to the soundtrack of Donna Summer's I Feel Love. It seemed the music was going to be turned up and we were going to disco dance, but we never did. We stayed seated in our lovely leather armchairs. So although we're told that the world has been turned upside down and inside out by the constant changing caused by people travelling back in time, nothing ever happens physically to disconcert us. What are as disconcerting and frightening as a horror film are the many startling facts about the past, present and likely future. And I assume these are accurate since the Wellcome Centre for Ethics and Humanities was involved in this production. In fact, there's actually the odd occasion when it seems more like a lecture than a drama. But even so, It is an entertaining show, and I give The Time Machine 3 stars. I hope you found this review helpful and interesting. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, 1 Minute Theatre Reviews. And you can read my reviews on my website, oneminutetheatrereviews.co.uk. Thank you for watching.